All right, so let's start by focusing on our breathing and noticing, really noticing how the more we've been doing this, that as soon as you say to yourself, I'm going to take a conscious breath, or I say, let's take a conscious breath, how much more you're able to drop into yourself with just that one thought. It's like just as soon as you begin to take that conscious breath, your whole physiology and neurochemistry, your posture, your breathing, everything shifts immediately. One of the things that I notice, one of the things that I more and more am noticing as I do this is that I can feel my heartbeat. It's like my heartbeat intensifies. It doesn't speed up. I've heard it referred to as magnetizes before. That magnetization is I just saw Angela's note to hit record. It distracted me. But that magnetization, the magnetizing our heart, is actually connecting with spirit. It's connecting with the sacred. In case any of you might ever experience that. I used to wonder why, when I sat down to pray, suddenly my heart was beating much more intensely. I was like, well, I don't understand what this is. And now I know. So I share that with you. And of course, with the waterfall breath, dropping it out through your mouth and then dropping it all the way out, pushing it all the way out. Having that feeling of bringing yourself into a relaxed space with each out breath. You bring the life force into you on the in breath and you hold it. And perhaps in that holding, you can feel that life force energy flowing all around you. Some of it is being pumped with the circulatory system, but it's also moving through the meridians, it's moving through all the nadis, it's moving through all these energetic systems, and perhaps even every cell of our body. And then as you drop it out and let it go, you're sending, like you've activated, you've pulled, you've eased out of all your cells this old spent energy, and you're breathing it out with every out breath. So it's such a cleansing breath, but not just cleansing, it's also a opening breath. Really opening ourselves, because we can't take a really full breath without opening our chests. And that reminds me of a little anecdote that I want to share. I was doing a group last night, and one of the people in the group was sharing that he and his wife had this agreement that when they are arguing, that each can remind the other to lift their hearts. And he was talking about how when we lift our hearts, that automatically we begin to open up. We just open, drop our shoulders back, and let our chest come out, and that's a heart opening experience. And we talked about adding gratitude to that and feeling into being grateful, so we can feel. Not everybody feels into their hearts as easily as other people. It's not necessarily their strength or their developed go-to capacity. So those things can really help with that. But I love that, in our relationships, to give each other permission to be able to say, yes, when you notice me getting tight, when you notice me starting to react, when, I give you permission to say, right, lift, you might want to lift up your heart right now. And they use that to help navigate the challenges when the challenges come up in their relationship. So I thought that was really beautiful and something that we can use now. To help ourselves feel more in touch, to be able to be more loving with our own selves as we begin this process. And so from this greater connection awareness within, you've moved more into your bodies, perhaps even more into your energetic beings, your field, that energy field around you. Begin to check in with your body. And let's do this by a kind of progressive relaxation version, actually. So let's add that in, where let's start with our heads. And as you're breathing, let me add this what I call the Mother Earth breath. And you breathe up from the earth on the in-breath, breathe up your back. If you can track it, if you have to use your brain to do it, then just don't worry about it. Just ask your subconscious, your superconscious to do it and let it go. You can breathe up from the earth, the loving, nurturing energy from the earth, and breathe it up through your legs, through your back, your neck, to the top of your head. And then as you exhale, you're going to exhale down your front. And so the exhale goes down into the earth. So we inhale up from the earth, all that living, loving energy from the earth. And then we exhale down into the earth, sending all our old spent energy, right? Sending whatever tension, whatever pain, whatever sadness, whatever anguish, emotional charge that we're feeling, we can send that down into the earth. So it's a circular breath with Mother Earth. And it really can help pull us out of our heads. And it also helps to calm the tension, to soften the tension, particularly in the forehead. And then just feel your head. See if you can feel the skin and the fascia and the muscles around the outside of your skull. Down your forehead, and around your ears. In your face, feeling into that soreness that's often there in the eyebrows. Let me add one more thing that comes to me right now. So there is a little exercise that comes from polarity therapy that some of you may already know from me or from somewhere else, where you take your thumb and your index finger and you start right at the bridge of your nose. And then you grasp your eyebrow and you hold. Now there's often, if you have any kind of sinus stuff going on, this is often really tender and might really be sore. So we're pushing the blood out physically. And then as you release it, the blood rushes back in. So it's really cleansing. And energetically, it's beginning to cleanse these According to polarity therapy, there are 5 energy pathways sort of associated with 5 fingers and 5 toes, right? So we move one finger width just to the inside of the center of our eyebrow and pinch there and breathe. Breathe it out. And then in the center of your eyebrow, right above your pupils, pinch there and breathe that out. Then let's go to the I don't know what you call that, the turning point, the eyebrow of the bone, the orbital bone anyway, and grab there. And usually these last 2, although I can still feel some soreness here, are not as sore as the first 3. Breathe it out, and then you're going almost to the corner of your eyes and you're grabbing the very base of your eyebrows or the skin around your eyes and pinching there. Good, and releasing. So that's a great exercise, very quick exercise. Of course, you can do it faster than that. When you're noticing, eye strain, when you're noticing, this headache in the front of your head from thinking too hard, when you feel yourself being really tight. Okay. So now feel into your head, into your face. What do you notice now about the muscles around your forehead? What do you notice now about your temples and your ears and your jaw, both sides of your jaw? You can relax that and see how much openness there might or might not be in your jaw. And then all the muscles in your face and your cheeks, the muscles closer to your nose, all the muscles around your mouth, and the muscles in your lips. Do we ever think about the muscles in our lips? But all those muscles. And then down along the jawline, where the scalenes attach. And your eyes, how do your eyes feel right now? They feel tired. Maybe they've just been seeing too much, looking too hard, working too hard. They just need rest right now. And then check in with your brain. See what you notice. Can you feel inside your brain? Can you feel where your pituitary gland is or might be? Can you feel where your pineal gland is? And do you notice any sensation in your brain? And then coming down your throat, the back of your neck, seeing what you notice there. And now into your chest. And as you breathe, taking a nice deep breath, what do you notice? How do you feel? How full does your breath feel? How easy is it? Or how tight and constrained? Feel like you can feel deep, or you can breathe deep into your belly? Or is your diaphragm all tight? Feel your back. Begin to feel into your organs, your heart, your lungs, the glands in your throat, your thymus gland, down into the organs in your gut. And the muscles and the fascia, down into your hips, all the joints, going down your thighs. How are your thighs today? And your knees. And your calves. And down into your feet. How are your feet? I just think how amazing our feet are. Well, how amazing every part of our body is. But our feet, always working for us. They're always moving. They're all holding us up, getting us from here to there. And they're not very big compared to the rest of us. So they do a lot of work for being pretty small, really. So notice where you're holding tension, where you might be feeling pain or discomfort. And now let's move into our emotional bodies. Check in with your heart. Again, you might think about lifting your heart for you to feel into your heart a little bit more. And ask your heart how it's doing. And what does your heart need to feel at more peace? Or to relax, to feel safe and soft and open and full. And maybe you have to think the answers. Maybe it feels like nothing comes, but know that there are parts of you, levels and layers of you that absolutely are tracking this. And in different ways are sharing this information with you and with the rest of your body. But of course, not all our emotions are in our heart, right? Tend to think of heartbreak and I think anguish. I think anguish feels like it lives here in our hearts. Hopelessness, despair, discouragement. Those are some of the feelings that seem to live there. We can have anger and rage. You know how I'm often having you tap at the temples on rage. You know, like a lot of intensity, but feeling trapped. And so the brain, it generates a lot of intensity and it all comes together in a sense of rage, outrage, perhaps, feeling trapped. And these feelings don't have to be where I say, you know, where I'm identifying now. There's no wrong answer here at all. Just kind of being a little bit of a guide as you go through. Rage also can be in the gut, in the gall, right? It's galling, right? Gallbladder. Sadness in the lungs. Those points above our eyes. Sadness in our hearts too. And then anger. If you notice any anger, where might it be? Resentment. Like anger is often associated with the liver. As is resentment. Stomach with fear, or I can't stomach something, like aversion. Spleen and pancreas really about processing and letting go. So holding on. If we have a tendency to hold on, what do you notice about your spleen and your pancreas? And your kidneys with releasing and letting go. And the whole digestive system with taking in, processing, assimilating, releasing. Our wombs, that well of deep knowing within us as women. How is your womb right now? What can you notice? What kind of feelings are there? What kind of sensations? Is there a fullness? Is there an emptiness? Is there something else? And the fear and the panic, stomach, chest, right? Gripping, that sense of gripping and tight. So see how you're feeling emotionally. What's there for you? It could be other emotions too. I mean, it could be positive emotions. There could be, even though we're all coming with things we want to release to bring us more into balance, that doesn't mean that there might be places inside where we're feeling joy. There might be places inside where we're feeling, I don't know, satisfaction, or we're feeling loved and cared for. We're feeling like we're able to rest. I mean, all those feelings, those emotions can be happening at the same time too, and I don't want to disregard them. We can have so much happening inside ourselves at one time. And then your mental body, your thoughts, like how well are you able to stay present in this scanning of yourself without extraneous thought? It's a way to get a sense of how free, let's say, our mental body is, or how tight, pressured, feeling like it's always got to be on. And breathing out any stress or tension that might be coming up as we're doing this. And then feeling into your relational body, your connections within yourself, within your own being, right? We've kind of looked at parts of us. But we as the personality, let's say, have a relationship or are in relationship with the wholeness of our being and our high self. What do we notice? Oh, and well, of course, also the subconscious selves, the parts, the child parts, right? When we're doing healing work, so often what we're doing really is to help these child parts that are still carrying pain. Not ever having been able to release the pain from the past, they carry the pain and it becomes how we live in the world today. And so checking in as you've been doing this work, how is your relationship with these child parts of you changing, growing? And your relationships with the people closest to you, how are those? Where are they full and rich, and where might they be just limping along, right? Where might they be really troubled right now? We might be having a lot of anger. We might be having a lot of fear and worry. Frustration, along with the love. And our relationship with the earth, with all the people in the world, the people who maybe get mad at us, right? People who, are in judgment of us, perhaps ways we might be in judgment of others. Those things always are part of our relational body and how healthy our relational body is. And as well, our relationships with the divine, with the unseen. Breathing out, whatever you've noticed, what kinds of things have come up for you? Feeling perhaps how you feel more in balance for this scanning. You might feel, in at least some ways, feeling more peaceful, more centered, softer, warmer inside. And you might also be aware of the particular challenges or issues or beliefs that you want to work on this evening, that you want to release this evening. I just sent a meme out, and I don't know if everybody saw it, and fortunately I don't remember it exactly, but this person was saying our bodies are not coffins for holding in all this old pain. The sense that all the pain we hold on to is a great stress on our bodies, right? And we're not dead. Our bodies are not coffins. Can't just bury, that was the word they used, burying all that pain inside. Like that's what we do with a coffin, right? We bury it. That's not what our bodies are. So we want to lift off the lids, lift off the planks, pop out the nails, of whatever it is that is buried within us. So we can release and come into more fullness and aliveness within ourselves, more compassion, more joy, more capacity to connect with ourselves and with others in ways we've always longed to connect with people, especially the people most important in our lives. And so feel into what it is that you are ready to release. And, as I say that, I often think of that or express it as a very conscious thing. Like, this is what I intend to do tonight. This is what I'm going to do tonight. My conscious self is deciding what I'm going to do. And yet the truth of it is, these energies that are ready for release come up in many ways, and not just because we consciously say, I'm going to work on this. So allowing ourselves to see what's emerging, what's wanting to come up and out. And maybe it's just, not just, sorry, maybe it's a sensation we have more than an emotion. Maybe it's a memory, right? An auditory or a visual memory, or even a memory of touch that wants to come up and out and be released, right? Our selves, we want to release it. Our subconscious selves, our superconscious selves, right? Like our higher self, the divine that is here with and around us, the beings that are always with you, and those that gather with us in this group. And there are ones, I have no doubt, that always gather with us, and others that come and go as the needs of the group shift in any particular moment, probably. All of these beings are here to help us heal something important now, something that hurt, something that maybe still really hurts now. We are so supported and so loved whenever we're in the midst of doing this work. And so giving yourself permission to just be in the awareness of what comes up, what emerges, what's happening, how are you feeling, what are you noticing, trusting that you are releasing, even if maybe you're not particularly focused on any particular thing tonight, though of course you could be, right? So we're going to start at the sore points, rubbing up and out and down and in and up and out and down and in. So we're sending out the old and bringing in the new, just like a breath. And we're doing it for each hemisphere energetically in our bodies as we do this. And with a nice deep conscious breath, even though I am feeling these feelings, this pain or doubt or frustration, right? Whatever it might be, I love myself and I am going to feel better now. I choose to trust that I have everything I need to release this old pain. And I am fully supported in releasing this old pain. Even though I'm feeling this anguish or this upset or this turmoil, this rising, I love myself and I choose to trust whatever is coming up in me now. And I choose to trust that something is coming up, that old pain is coming up to be freed and healed. I won't be conscious of all of it. It's not possible. Top of your head. And the top of your head, holding here and invoking the divine, invoking guides, whatever you guys know, whatever it is that is your language, your way to speak of and with higher dimensional energy. Invoke them. Bring your healing, your light, and your love to me now to help me release more than I thought I could release, to help me come into more and more wholeness and health and wellness. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am so grateful for your presence. Eyebrows. Taking nice deep breaths at each one of these points. And you might also want to experiment with just holding the point and taking a nice deep breath. Breathing out what's ready to let go. Moving on to the side of your eyes, deep breath in. Letting go. Underneath your eyes, same thing. Above your lips, same thing. You might begin noticing more letting go throughout the whole of your body, like even down into your legs. Now with these deep cleansing breaths. Below your lips. Letting go. It's safe. You're safe. You're surrounded by love, surrounded by light. Collarbones. There's so much energy here to help you release and help you heal. On the sides. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Perhaps asking the child parts of you if they too can let go of pain they're still carrying, that all of you can do it together. And feel the relaxation going even deeper. And this time, let's take your thumb and hold your thumb with one hand and take a nice deep breath here. Again, releasing, opening, accessing feeling into what wants to emerge. Moving on to your index finger, another nice deep breath. Remembering those times in the past where it was so hard. Whatever it was hard. And helping these child parts as you move to your middle finger with a deep breath. Not feel so alone and powerless anymore. So many of our experiences as children contributed to us feeling such strange combinations of powerful and powerless. But not really safe and secure. Not feeling a consistent sense of being cherished and loved, despite perhaps parents' best efforts. And moving on to the ring finger, another nice deep breath or two here. Letting go. Perhaps feeling your heart filling with compassion for all that you endured as a child. That there wasn't anybody to talk with about, there wasn't anybody to share. Sometimes maybe some of you had people, safe people you could go to onto your little finger. But so often, there weren't the words, parents weren't there. We didn't have the words to talk about how we were feeling, what was happening inside of us. And most parents didn't have the sensitivity just to sit with and be with us and use their wisdom and their own ability to regulate themselves emotionally to help us. Come back up to the top of your head, tapping or holding here. Releasing this pain, eyebrows, from wherever it's been buried inside. On the sides, I do not want my body to be a coffin for all deep emotions that are still buried inside, underneath your eyes. I'm safer than I feel, and it is safer than it feels for me to release these feelings. It's a process, right? And it is still safe above your lips. Letting go, breathing it out below your lips. Being with yourself, tapping on your thymus if you need to, holding your heart center to feel the warmth there so that you feel loved and supported. And let's just stay there. Let's hang out there and tap back and forth. And so our hands are both over our physical heart and our heart center. They're pumping energy and light into our heart and our heart center. We're helping to calm the hemispheres of the brain. With a little pressure here, we are containing, right? We are holding ourselves. We are giving ourselves reassurance. We are giving ourselves support. And check in with yourself and see what you notice now. Where are you now in your own process with yourself tonight? Check back with where you started. What is it you notice? What's different? How is your inner terrain different? Your inner landscape? How do you feel different inside? Your belly, your gut, your solar plexus, your heart and lungs, your throat, your face, your head, your arms, your legs. And what might still be there? With whatever is still there, whether it's not quite letting go or whether it's emerging, I invite you to see next to you a treasure chest, which I like to call a treasured chest. It is so beautiful and precious. It is so treasured by you. It is almost magical, right? It probably is magical, actually. And around this treasured chest are all these beings who you are invoking to continue to help you heal whatever is not completely healed. So you can feel, imagine yourself putting into that treasured chest whatever the issues still are, right? Whether you use words, whether it's memories that go in, whether it's shapes or objects that represent what it is that you're still in process of freeing yourself from. All those get laid in this treasured chest for those beings to continue to work on, continue to heal, so that as now as you come back to yourself, back to your body, already cued in your body just a few minutes ago, you might want to wiggle around your neck, your shoulders, your toes. Breathe out again, just let it go. And I invite you to breathe up from the earth. What are some of the beautiful colors of the earth? And you can think of crystals, right? Crystals live in the earth. So perhaps there are different crystalline colors, favorites of yours that you want to bring that light and that energy of up into you, up into your heart center. And if you don't feel yourself actually doing that, you could imagine sort of being given by the earth, these precious crystals, and placing them in your heart. It's clear quartz, whether it's amethyst, right? Rose quartz, citrine, fluorite, labradorite, aventurine, turquoise, gold, silver, copper. Those are metals, obviously. But they have a place within too. And so feeling these gifts from Mother Earth and feeling a gratitude for being given these gifts, whatever they are for you, then bring your awareness to above you, to the unmanifest spirit, I like to say, from above. And feel that energy coming down into you, perhaps like right through that central light axis. And perhaps as like a shower of light and color. A soft sprinkling. A steady stream into you, into your heart. Feel these energies in your heart. Know that you are better for what you allowed yourself to do tonight. And that every step you take matters significantly. And so give yourself gratitude for bringing yourself here, for doing everything else you may have done today to take care of yourself, to honor yourself, to love yourself, and be kind and gentle to yourself. Good. Good. And you might end this by acknowledging, claiming the healing, claiming the growth, claiming more freedom and light inside of you. And with that, I bring tonight's circle to a close, thanking all the energies, all the divine beings within us and around us who've been here with us tonight, thanking each one of you for being here, for contributing your light to the whole. And I wish you a really brightly blessed and love-filled week. And I will see you next week. Hope. Be well, everyone. Good night. Good night. I didn't realize I didn't end the meeting for everybody. Good night.